Yes, good morning, students. Today we are discussing about one of the question which came in the 2024 mains for 10 marks in paper 2. So that question is somewhat tricky. Why it is tricky means most of the time we will study like 10 to 15 Indian anthropologists, but in reality there are 20 to 25 Indian anthropologists are there. From their work every year they are asking the questions. So that means our knowledge is restricted to only 10 to 15 people, but majority 20 to 25 anthropologists are there. They contributed for growth of Indian anthropology by studying the caste studies, rural studies, tribal studies, everything like Indian society and civilization studies. So these are all the areas. So the question is like agricultural practices of Apatani tribe. So which came for 10 marks. So you need to write 150 words above. So nearly 150 words for 10 marker. So you need to finish it within 5 minutes. Okay. So first of all, you should identify who were studied this Apatani tribe. So what were his contributions for Indian anthropology? So that you have to start as an introduction. So Austrian ethnologist Christoph von Farur Hemmendorf, he visited India in mid of the 20th century. So he studied Konyak Nagas of Nagaland, Apatani tribe of Arunachal Pradesh. They are residing in Zero Valley. So Chinchus of Nallamala Forest. So they are residing in between Telangana and AP. The border, there is a Nallamala Forest. There, this Aboriginal tribe Chinchus are residing. And finally, Gonds of Adilabad. Purely they are in the borders of Chhattisgarh and Telangana region. So among these four major works, so the examiner pointed about the Apatani's work. Why? Because here there is some uniqueness. So Apatani's tribes. So he wrote a book on the Apatanis. That ethnography is nothing but Apatanis and their neighborhood. In this book, he described about the social structure of Apatani tribe, cultural practices such as worship of hills surrounded by their living places, and agricultural practices. So these agricultural practices were given in the exam. Understand? So how unique about this agricultural practice? So because they are residing in the Zero Valley. So Zero Valley. So Arunachal Pradesh means mostly it is comprising the mountainous or hilly areas, right? So in these hilly areas, they created a heritage such as very unique to sustain their livelihood. So their agriculture was characterized as integrated system of paddy cum fish cultivation. So they do integrated cultivation. That means fisheries as well as the paddy cultivation. That is wet paddy cultivation. For that purpose, they made the terraces of all the hill. So hills are converted into terraces. They are permanent in nature, and they made a water canals or water channels into this step-like cultivation. Understand? So now this water, the hilly water or rain-fed water. So they draw from the hills. So this hilly water providing nutrients for the paddy growth as well as the fish growth. So this is the reason. So not only this abundance growth of this paddy and fish cultivation. So these nutrients of rainwater which draw from the hilly region, they restore the fertility of every year. Understand? So this is how humans adaptations to their local environment, that you should remember. So now this kind of practice does not require either animals, farm animals or machinery. That means there is no input cost. So no input cost because, so this is like, shifting cultivation type, but it's not truly cutting off the trees. Make these hills are permanently terraced. Okay, that you should remember. So what are the benefits this kind of practice provide means? It provides the nutritional security, especially the fish providing the proteins for consumption, and paddy gives carbohydrates. Next one, economic security. The surplus of these fishes as well as this paddy, they might sell in the nearby market areas. So economic security. So no input cost, so that it is sustainable, and it is their landscape is very suitable without investing the too much of input cost. So next one, harmonizing with local environment. So this tells us like how to survive even harsh climatic conditions also. The similarly, so you can observe the Khasas of Uttarakhand also. They too adopted the valley regions of Uttarakhand. So next, you can see this kind of practice is very unique. For that purpose, UNESCO proposed to include this kind of practices, this Apatani Valley agricultural practice into World Heritage Site. So this is how this kind of unique nature converting in the harvesting or utilizing the surrounding natural resources suitable for their survival or adaptability, that is called uniqueness. Understand? So this you have to write for 150 words. So that's why you focus. That means first you should know where this question is coming. Understand? So this kind of questions, so he might ask directly Heimendorf contribution for the Apatani tribe, but he didn't ask like that. He simply mentioned that Apatani tribe. That means we have to recollect who were studied this Apatani tribe. So this is how you have to present.